Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, or you just want to give this channel some love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing asexual dating, and in particular, the elimination process and what this means, why this is really good. So stay tuned for that. If you don't know who I am Sandra Burmy. I'm an asexual speaker, author, entrepreneur, and also an asexuality, dating, and relationships coach. And I came out with this book in 2017 for asexuals called Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life, and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of Asexualize.com and the founder of Asexualize Academy. Plus, I published this awesome fibromyalgia self-help handbook last year. How to manage fibromyalgia to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier like a superhero rock star. And if you've got anxiety or depression, this is an awesome book for creating a much more happier, pain-free life. Anyway, moving on. So, today's topic, asexual dating. Right. So, why it's essential that you enjoy the elimination process, and what does this really mean? So when you are looking to date, to get into a relationship, you're looking for a potential suitor to be in a relationship with, right? What you should be doing, if you haven't already done this, is you should be getting out your piece of paper with a pen, and you should be writing down your ideal type of person to be in a relationship with. This can be anything and everything, from the way they look, your ideal type of look for the guy or girl, or whatever gender or non-gender this person is, so whether they're non-binary, gender fluid, whatever type of person it is. If looks aren't important at all to you, then you don't need to worry about that. But maybe you want them to have a certain hair color, a certain eye color. Maybe you like them smiling a lot. Maybe you like them to wear certain clothes, ideally. Or maybe, you just like a certain type of ethnicity, certain type of look, all that type of thing. Write down your ideal type of person in terms of look, in terms of personality, in terms of values, morals, beliefs, and in terms of deal breakers. So the things that you categorically cannot have in a relationship. And write down what your ideal type of relationship is. Like, what would it feel like? What would it look like? How would this person fit into your life? What would you do with each other on a day-to-day basis? Would you live together? Would you not live together? If you live together, how often do you want to be seeing your friends? How often do you want to be spending time with each other? If you live together, are you going to be on different shifts? How is that going to work? Are you going to live in the same bedroom together, sleep together? Or are you going to be in separate rooms? All these type of practicalities needs to be thought about, especially if you're asexual, right? And you're not into having sex. Some asexuals are sex repulsed. Some asexuals are touch adverse. Some asexuals just need their space because they're used to being on their own quite a lot, So it's very, very important that you map out your ideal avatar, if you like, what the person would look like, what they would say, what they would wear, how they would feel, how they would speak, and most importantly, how they would feel towards you and act towards you. You want your ideal type of person, the type of person, what would they say? What would your bestest person who you want to get into relationship with, whether that be platonic or romantic, your ideal best type of person. Obviously, if you're someone who doesn't want a relationship, then I appreciate this video is probably not going to appeal to you unless you use this to find your bestest friends, which you can do, right? You can apply all these types of things to a best friend. What type of qualities would you look for in a best friend? What's your ideal scenario? How far would they ideally live from you? What type of things would you do? What type of things would you talk about? What type of things would you go and do together? So you can actually adapt a lot of what I'm saying now for asexual friendships. It doesn't have to be dating, but I'm very much focusing on dating tonight's video. But you can transfer it, it doesn't have to be in a relationship, Anyway, carrying on. So, you want to map out your ideal type of person. Now, why is this very important? It's very important that you're crystal clear on who you want to be in a relationship with, right? Crystal clear. So many people are like, oh, but you're so specific. You should be specific. You should be so super specific. Because if you do not be specific, you'll get a load of crap, excuse my language, coming your way. Is that what you want? You'll get all the rubbish coming away. That doesn't mean to say you can't be open-minded. Doesn't mean to say you can't be open to try new things and open still. But what it means is you're honing down on exactly what you want, laser beam, because then you are more likely to get it. If you're just going, oh, I'll have anything and everything, when it comes to it, you won't. I have asked guys before. I've said to guys, like, what's your ideal type of relationship look like? Hello. You should be crystal clear. Well said. Oh, thank you. Lots of love and thanks for the thumbs up. I've had, I'm glad you agree with me. Yeah, you should be mega crystal clear, right? Because otherwise you get a load of rubbish coming up. And do you know what I mean? And the more crystal clear you are, the more other people can benefit from that. Luna. Hey, Sandra. Yay. Ace dating topic. Lots of love, Luna. Lots of love. Oh, I like your surname. It's beautiful. Yeah, dating topics seem very popular, but then that's my speciality, isn't it? So yeah, so it's very important that you write down your ideal avatar, what the person looks like, what they'll say, what they'll speak like, where you'll go together, what you'll do together. So you need to really map out everything about this ideal person you want to be in a relationship with. Obviously, if you're polyamorous, then multiple people, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to have a monogamous person looking for one person to be in a relationship with. Right, so you can, like I said, you can adapt this for friendships or whatever. Okay, so you need to be crystal clear on what this person looks like, where they live, what they look like, what they do for a job. Very, very, very specific and crystal clear. Now, the reason this is good is because I've actually had guys I've spoke to, and they're like, "Oh, I don't mind what I get. I'm open to anything," but actually, they're not. Once you start talking to them, like if I say, "Well, I don't want kids," they're like, "Well, I do want kids." Do you see what I mean? Or if I say, well, I don't want marriage, they're like, oh, I haven't even thought about that. And it's if they haven't even thought about marriage, and I know crystal clear I don't want marriage, then that's not going to be very good, is it? Because they could change their mind, or they haven't even made their mind up like 5 years down the line. I'm in a different position in my life than they are. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's lots of things that people say, oh, I'm okay with anything, but they're really not. And they just haven't sat down and thought about it properly, and they haven't done their due diligence and respected themselves enough and the future person to actually map out what they want. So this is very, very important to be crystal clear on what you want. So if for example, you go to a job and, there's a job description, right? If you're a manager, I used to be a manager of retail stores, right? And I used to map out a job description, right? And I've also been on the other side of the foot where I've actually been interviewed and had to match my criteria of what I've learned over the years to the job description. I'm very, very good usually getting interviews because I'm very good at being able to turn all my skills around to match the job description. That's a big secret, and you do it in the covering letter, which a lot of people don't know about. They're too focused on the CV and they're not focused enough on the cover letter. So I used to help people who are redundant get back into work. So I specialize in that as well. And so you've got to be crystal clear. So you should treat dating like having your job description of your ideal type of person you want to be in a relationship with. All the features and benefits you want of this person, right? Because you shouldn't be going, and for example, if you're a manager, you shouldn't be interviewing people without a job description. You need to know what your ideal candidate is going to be, because you don't want to get someone who's completely incompatible for the job, right? I mean, if you were sat there and say you, for example, I've been a manager of shops before, right? And if I get someone who doesn't want to speak to people, they don't like the dealing with the public, they don't really like talking that much. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have a lot of problems with that type of person, because retail is very upfront with the customer. You need to be able to talk, explain. You need to be in the public eye all the time. And if you've got someone who's saying in the interview, I hate being in the public eye, I don't like that, I'd rather work out the back somewhere, unless you've got a warehouse job, that type of thing, they're not going to be suited for the job at hand, you see. That doesn't mean to say they're not going to be suitable for another job, but they're not going to be suitable for the job at hand with you, which is how I'm going to come on to why this is very, very important in dating. So when I'm talking about the elimination process, we need to begin and enjoy the elimination process. So what am I talking about? So you should treat dating like a job application and job description. You basically have people come along, you have your ideal description of what the job is, the job is like being my partner, the job is, this is, like this is what I want in terms of household stuff, whether you want them to do the cooking, you to do the cooking. This is what I want in terms of hobbies and interests together. This is how I want them to respect me. This is how I want my boundaries maintained and sustained. This is deal breakers for me, sex, marriage, kids, all those type of things. This is where I want to see ourselves going in a few years. Maybe you want to travel together. So you should have all your job description mapped out, like you're going for a job. And you should have, this person specification of features and benefits you want. And you should actually be thinking about how you want them to make you feel, which is coming from a place of self-love and law of attraction. Because if we don't assess how we want the other person to feel about us, and we're always in a position to give to them loving, it's not going to work out. We're not going to have the love we need come to us. Now, I learned this a while ago. I was so thinking about how I could love them, how I could care about them, how I could feel, great joy that they were in my life, but I wasn't thinking about how they would make me feel. I wasn't thinking about the love coming from them. I wasn't feeling how they made me feel, thinking how they made me feel, So we need to, with dating, enjoy the elimination process, which is what we don't do a lot of the time. So what I mean by that is you're going to get people to come into your life just like they come for a job interview, and they're not going to be suitable. And you need to get happy, very, very happy and comfortable with the elimination process. So in other words, rejecting all the applicants that do not fit up to the job description and person specification. Right? This means instead of looking at dating as a really upsetting thing, like I'm losing this person doesn't want me, this is rejection, you need to look at the fact that you're in control of your dating life. You're in control of your relationship life. You're the one with the job description and person specification. And if that person doesn't live up to that, it's time to let them go and you eliminate them from the process. That candidate is not suitable. They're out of your life. You move on to the next person, right? And this is how we have to treat dating, because otherwise what we do is we panic and stress and get upset and feel a lot of pain that this person isn't right, or they rejected us, or why can't this go right? And it gets very frustrating. But if we treat the whole process like a job interview, person specification, job description, and these people just aren't up to the job, there's no loss there. They're just not the right candidate for the job, which is being with you and in a relationship with you. They don't match the criteria. They're not up to your standards. So you need to let them go. It doesn't mean to say they're not going to be right for someone else. Remember, like I said, if I've got someone I'm interviewing for a shop job on the shop floor serving customers, but they are a quiet person, they don't like to be in the public eye, they prefer to do like administrative tasks or work out the back at something, they'd be good for like an office job maybe, they'd be good for like a warehouse job, so they'll be suited for a different type of job, so they'll be suited to a different type of person, right? So this is what we need to do. We need to actually enjoy the elimination process, because they disqualify themselves, certain people. So I've had a couple of Indian guys actually recently disqualify themselves. I had one that I was talking to on Facebook. He's new to the entrepreneur world. I'm a lot further ahead than him by about 8 years. And he says, I'm new to all this. I've just started learning this stuff over the last 3 months. And, there was a connection between me and him, right? And he did start talking about, he used to sing to me, which is beautiful. And he does sing in general, but when he's singing specifically love songs to me, it's quite like emotional. And, I said I'm feeling romantic, and he said he's feeling romantic too. But I had to say to him, this isn't what I'm looking for my soulmate. And be honest, because I met him in a dating group, even though he's an entrepreneur, I met him in a dating group for entrepreneurs, right? And so I had to say to him, I'm looking for my soulmate. And he's like, oh, you don't just love someone. You don't just get love. It takes time. And I'm like, I already love my soulmate from the past life that I think I knew him in. I already love him. That is it. Right. So until I find the right guy for me, my love is reserved for that person. This means this guy needs to get out of the way, which he did do. I kept saying to him repeatedly, but I'm looking for my soulmate. I'm looking for my soulmate. He got the message. He doesn't speak to me now in private. We're still friends on Facebook, but he doesn't speak to me in private message because it's too upsetting for me. Because I could feel connection with him. I could feel like something different with him. right? But he's over in India. He's no intention of coming over here. He's not asexual. So he has disqualified himself because he's not up to the job of being my soulmate. I had another guy recently who's Indian again. I say Indian because obviously I'm interested in Indian guys. And I know some other guys that I'm talking to as friends, but they're not suitable for a relationship. So this guy, Indian, right? He really likes me. I really like him. We video chatted the other day. I told you about it. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment, right? But again, he's not in this country. And he was admitted to me in the early hours this morning, there's no way. It's my dream to come to the UK, Sandra, because it's always been his dream. But he said, I won't have the money to do it. I won't have be able to get a visa. It's as simple as that, basically. Doesn't matter whether he wants a relationship with me or not. It can't happen, right? So he has disqualified himself now. He's eliminated himself from the process because it's like a person turning up to an interview. They didn't realise all the job description. You go into greater detail and they're like, no, I can't actually do it. I'm really sorry for wasting your time in the interview. But I know I can't do it. And you thank that person. You thank that person for letting them know that they're not up to the job. And you wish them well. And so this is what we need to do in the dating process. We need to wish these people well, because they have disqualified themselves, which means the job's still open for the right person. It might take a long time to get that right person. It might take a very long time to get the right person, but it's much better to get the right person than it is to end up with the wrong person and spend years of your life wasted. It's better to be single. I think I'm going to be single probably for the next 10 years because I think it's going to take me a long time to find the right guy for me. But I'm prepared to do that because I would rather wait 10 years for the right guy than be with the wrong one. And I have 10 years of having fun at being asexual single girl for 10 years. Obviously, I'll be asexual after that, but I can have lots of asexual fun in the meantime. And so it's very, very, very important that you do this process, that you start seeing dating as an interesting thing. You start seeing dating as that you're the one with the power. Because I think in dating, we feel very, very powerless. We feel like we're out of control. We feel like, God, this person's come into my life. Do they like me? Do they not like me? Can we be together? Can we not be together? And it's all very much pie in the sky. It's very la-di-da. There's no real concrete ways of like actually seeing, is this person right for you or not? So by doing what I've said, creating a person specification like you would a job description, basically, literally person specification, job description, you should do that with what you want in a relationship. This is my ideal person, this is what their avatar would look like, this is basically what age they'd be, what they'd look like, how they present themselves, and then this is a description of what I want them to be able to do for me. And obviously, in a relationship, it's twofold. You need to be doing stuff for them, but what can you bring to the table? It's a good idea to write down what you're going to bring to the table. I know, for example, thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. I know, for example, that it's not gonna, like housework is not my thing. That's not my thing. If part of a guy's job description is I want a woman who'll cook and clean for me and do housework, I do not fit that guy's job description. I'm out already because I'm not interested in that. I'm very good with the emotional side of a guy's well-being, emotions and his heart. I will look after his heart forever and won't crush it, And I'm about breeding trust, and I'm about helping him emotionally when he's finding some tough stuff because he's sensitive and kind and caring, Bestest friend stuff. I'm good at that type of stuff. I'm good at intellectually connecting with him. I'm good at offering my experience, So there's things that I have that are really, really good that wouldn't suit quite a lot of guys who want housework women, obviously, but they'll suit a different type of guy. So we have to believe as well. We have to believe that the guy that we want, or the person, because obviously it might not be guy in your case, the person we want is out there. You have to categorically believe that, because if not, you'll start trying to tweak your job description and person specification till it's nothing like it was in the first place. And then you'll end up with someone who's completely incompatible with you, and really you're not happy. Like I could settle for someone who, for example, wasn't Indian, right? Wasn't even foreign, but I really want to be with a foreign guy, specifically Indian. That's my dream. That's my ideology. That's my criteria. If the guy, it's possible that if a guy lived in a neighboring country, that might be all right. If he was from Bangladesh, or maybe if he was from Sri Lanka, if he looked Indian, if he was part Indian, but I don't, I don't really get attracted to British guys unless they're obviously like part Indian, but they're born in Britain, or part foreign, but they're born in Britain. That's okay. But You know, like, I think coloured skin is absolutely beautiful, and I just really connect with Indian guys the most. So, you know, I don't want to get into a relationship with someone who's not suitable for me, who I don't feel that connection with as deeply as I could with someone else. We mustn't settle in our life. I feel a lot of asexuals, they settle because they think that's all they can get, right? But the power is with you. The power to say, no, I don't want a sexual relationship because I'm not into sex. It's not going to make me happy. I don't want to be forcing myself to do anything. You're a nice person, everything, but there's someone better for them because they can give them sex that I can't give them. And there's someone better for me because they won't need sex from me. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no, people aren't wrong. They're just not right for each other a lot of the time. And it's a process of elimination. We have to get really happy and we have to start thinking, that person's disqualified themselves. Yep, big cross for them. Out they go. Next one, cross, out they go. Do you know what I mean? And I think, you know, that also it's important to have really, really good friends, right? So that maybe one day one of your friends might be more than a friend to you if you want that. But you have to understand that once you get to know friends, you can understand that they're not right for you. Like, I have got some friends, some British guy friends now, asexual, right? But I know they're not suitable for a relationship with me. And I know that because I've discussed it with them, the hobbies, their interests, what they're looking for in a relationship. And I know they don't match my job description for being in a relationship with me and for my criteria of what I'm looking for. You know, they just don't fit my job description and person specification of what I want in a relationship. So they're out. I'm out for them. You know, one of them said, you know, that's not what I'm looking for, you know, but friendship wise, they're really nice guys. And I also think this is very, very important. A lot of people tend to hang around with people that, you know, that empower their beliefs, right? So if you have a lot of negative beliefs surrounding dating relationships, you think everyone's a load of rubbish, you've had really bad people in relationships, it's very good to make friends with people who genuinely are kind, caring, honest, loyal, loving, and very, you know, want a relationship. So for example, now I have got guys in my life who are not suitable for a relationship, but they really want a relationship. They're nice guys. They talk to me. They write long messages back to me. They discuss their life with me. They're being real good friends to me, right? So I know there are good guys out there. I know the guys are being honest, kind, caring. They're not right for me to be in a relationship with. Friends, they're good, you know? So by having these people in my life, it makes me know that not all guys, obviously I know not all guys are bad because I've got really good friends as well. But, you know, in terms of relationships, it makes me know that not everyone's, you know, just after sex, and not everyone is dishonest. You know, there's some honest people who know what they want, who live in their passions, their goals, ambitions, and dreams, and who really want to settle down in a relationship. And they will be good with the right person for them. So, you know what I mean? By having these people that are very good quality people as people in their own right, as friends and someone who could be good in a relationship, potentially, even if they're not right for me, it reinforces the belief and knowledge that I know not everyone is a bad person in a relationship, and there is someone I can get for a good relationship. You know, it's very, very important that we know these things because they empower us. But please, please, please start getting comfortable with the elimination process. That's how you need to look at it. Not cling on for dear life to the person that happens to come along and say, well, I could live without sex, which a lot of them actually can't. You know, there are very few that can. You know, you'll find YouTube videos where some that can live without sex, but there are very few and far between. And even less so that are really happy about it usually. So you have to understand that it's better if we can be in a relationship with someone of our own kind or that's more suited to us, you know? You know, if you're asexual that's not sex repulsed, it's a lot easier. But for the sex repulsed asexuals, it can be very difficult, you know, and you don't want to settle. Don't ever settle. I'd rather be single for the rest of my life than settle in a relationship with a guy I know it's not the one for me, you know? And so I'm quite happy for the next 10 years even to enjoy my single life, explore more about myself, have some kissing in some clubs, which I like doing. And then going over the other night because I don't want to commit to a guy unless I know he matches my job specification, you know, job description, person specification as much as possible. You know, when you're looking for the ideal candidate for a job, you get one that most, you know, closely matches your criteria. Lena, people in general are actually pretty truthful, aren't they? I'd also rather be single than settle. Actually, Luna, people in general, I would say, aren't pretty truthful in my experience. So when you say people in general are actually pretty truthful, aren't they? I would say no. In my experience, not. A lot of the time, people are not living as their true, authentic self. They are hiding themselves. They are hiding parts of themselves. They're hiding secrets they don't want anyone to know because they fear they would lose that person as a friend or lose that person's respect, or that person won't like them for who they are. And so I think a lot of people aren't being truthful. A majority of the world, probably population, aren't really being truthful if we're going a deep dive into truth, like revealing who you truly are to the world. So for example, I have an Indian friend who's not who's asexual, sorry, but not, well, they're demisexual, but who's not heteroromantic, they're homoromantic, right? So they are on the asexual spectrum, they're demisexual, and they are they do a lot for the community of LGBT people, and they really seem really nice. We're new to each other's friendship, but we seem to have a spiritual connection. We seem to get on really well. We're actually video chatting on camera on Wednesday, which I'm really looking forward to. Hello, they watch this channel. And so, you know, they're homoromantic, so they're into guys, so we're not suitable in that romantic sense, right? But they sent me a video tonight, right? Now the video they thought was incredibly amazing, very inspirational. They loved it. I watched 2 and a bit minutes of it, 2 minutes 13 seconds, and I hated it. It was absolutely awful for me. And I said something to them. Now, most people wouldn't have said anything. They probably wouldn't have either even watched the video, or if they did, they would have said nothing but thanks. That's all they would have said, right? Because they're not being truthful. They're not being truthful that they don't like that type of video because they don't want to hurt the person's feelings. But if that person is going to be genuinely your friend and you're going to progress a friendship, you need to be open and honest and say, I didn't like that video. It actually upset me. It did actually bring some tears. I'm like, I don't want to see stuff like that, you know? And so I had to explain it to them, because if I don't explain it to them, they don't know going forward. They then will send me more of those types of videos that I don't want, and I'll feel bad, right? So I have to do the decent thing by being open and honest and telling them that video wasn't for me and how I feel. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that because they're not living their true authentic life. Luna, I'm so worried about that when dating. Just want people to be truthful. Yeah, Luna, I do find a lot of people aren't being their true authentic self, you know, and I think a lot of it's to do with society, you know, but a lot of it's to do with the people. They just don't know how to be themselves. Like on this channel, I'm very open and honest. You know, some people would say maybe I'm too open and honest, but I am this way because I don't have any skeletons in my closet. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing that people can't know about me, really. I mean, there's some stuff I don't say on this channel, but even if that got out, it's not, you know, like I'm strong enough to deal with it. You know, it's not really, you know, there's not much you don't know on this channel about me. Do you know what I mean? And it takes a lot of time to get that trust up. But, you know, like in dating relationships, if a guy puts he's in a certain country, but yet he's not even living in that country, that's it. He's lied. Like last time this guy did it on ASAP, right? I said to him, I'm looking for someone in the UK. He's going, oh, I am in the UK, and sent me a picture of him with the London bus. But that's not what he said on his profile. So again, it's lying. He could have been visiting London and just snapped a picture of him in a London bus. It doesn't mean to say he's living in London. Why would he put in his profile he lives in a completely different country to the UK if he's living in the UK? Because he's just saying what he thinks I want to hear. And I've had other guys doing that. They live in a completely different country, yet they say they live in the UK, and it's rubbish. There was a guy who said he lived in Bristol. I contacted him. Oh, I'm not in Bristol. No, I'm in another country, but I just put that because either he used to be there or he likes it there or something. I don't know. But you know what I mean? These people lie, and so they've already lied. So it's like the other day, like literally when the guy sent me a picture of him in the bus, normally I would just carry on the conversation, and they tried to convince me of how, well, it doesn't matter, you know, I just put that in my profile, you know, because I felt like it. I don't have it anymore. That's it. You've lied to me. You're not being honest in your profile. You're out. Gone. Next, you know? And so I think it's very important because unfortunately, you know, I have had throughout the years a lot of guy friends, and I think guys make very good friends, right? I've always had excellent guy friends. But the guys I've had as friends have not been good with women. Some of them in my past, particularly, they've two-timed women. Even though they've been an excellent friend to me, honest to me, they have been dishonest to the people they're seeing and in a relationship with. So I've always found in relationships, guys are not great in my past experience, but as friends, they make excellent friends. They can be completely honest and open, direct with you as friends, like totally trustworthy as friends, yet really bad in relationships and totally untrustworthy in relationships. So, you know, I have that experience, a lot of years of that experience. So that's kind of hard. So I'm trying to find people now who I know that are going to be good friends that would be good in a relationship, even if they're not right to be in a relationship with me, because I need to know that there are people out there that are telling the truth, you know, not hiding things. I'm very good at understanding when someone's hiding something. Even if they swear blind, they're not. I've always been able to have that ability. Even if they swear blind, they've told me everything and I know everything. I can feel it. I can feel the truth. And I know categorically when someone's not being completely honest with me, I know they're hiding stuff. And it's a shame because it's like, well, don't you trust me enough to tell me the truth? Because it's like, what am I going to do? The truth's the truth, isn't it? Right? At the end of the day, it is what it is, you know, regardless. It doesn't matter. So, but it's hard. It's hard because it's like, you should trust me enough to tell me anything and everything, because it's like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? You speak your truth, don't you? But I know when people are hiding stuff and not completely saying. But instead of it looking and reflecting on me and thinking, well, you should trust me, I'm thinking obviously that you have a problem with yourself. If you are hiding things, it's not me that's a problem. It's them who's got a problem with hiding things. You know, if they feel they can't tell me stuff, which I'm very like understanding and open minded, then if they feel they can't tell me, then I just have to let it go and understand that it's their issue to deal with. It's not my issue. And by keeping things to themselves, it doesn't help them, actually. It can make them very upset and in pain, because they're hiding stuff that they really need to let people know, but they're too scared. So actually, it's very unhealthy for them to bottle that up. But you just have to let them get on. If they want to tell me, they'll tell me in their own good time. But it's just horrible if you end up being in a relationship with that type of person, because you know there's something they're not telling you. Then you know they've got a secret from you. Therefore, it feels like the relationship's one-sided and not open and honest as it could be. And then it can become a bit hurtful, unless you realise that it's, you know, it's not you that's problem, it's them. Liam, hello, Sandra, nice to see you. Oh, lots of love to you, Liam. Nice to see you as well. Lovely to see you. It's 5 a.m. nearly here in the morning. I'm seeing one of my best friends later today in a few hours' time. Well, this afternoon. It's like nearly 5 a.m. I'm seeing them at 1:30. So I'm digressing a bit off the topic, but I haven't seen them for several months. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, so to summarize this video up, you know, don't forget what I've said. I'll quickly go through the points again in case you missed something. Is basically when you're looking to date someone, or you can, like I said, you can transfer this into a friendship. It doesn't have to be a date. You can use all these things in friendship terms. So you can instead of finding the ideal person to be in a relationship with, you can look for the ideal friend. You know, you create your avatar of your ideal person. Avatar is like if you were thinking of them as like a character in a book, like what type of, you know, color of their hair, what type of clothes would they wear, what type of job would they do, what beliefs, values, morals, ethics, what deal breakers, you know, like would you want for that, you know, what like category what will you not put up with, accept in that relationship or friendship, if you're using it as a friendship thing. And then, you know, you need to create a job specification and person specification, job description, person specification based on the avatar. So the job is them being in a relationship with you, or your best friend, or a friend, you know, whatever you want to transfer that to. So say it's a relationship, you know, you want to create your ideal description of what that person would look like, say, believe, think, feel, do for you and with you. And the person specification. So person specification is rather what they look like and things, what type of thanks for the thumbs up, what type of personality they have. So do you want them to be loud? Do you want them to be bubbly? Do you want them to be excitable? Do you want them to be kind of docile? Do you want them to be introverted if you're an introvert? Do you want them to be quiet? Do you want them to be intelligent? Do you want them to play video games? Do you want them to be filled with fun? So the person specification is more to do with the person's personality and kind of their looks, and so if I was doing an interview with someone for a shop job, they would have to look presentable, tidy, neat, smell nice, be well groomed, be approachable, easy to talk to, able to soak up knowledge easily when they have to learn about new products within the business, be adaptable to things that are changing within the store, good with visual stuff, so if they need to do visual merchandising. So this is a type of person specification that I would look for when I was doing a retail job. So you translate that into dating, like what type of person do you want them to be? Do you want them to have tattoos? Do you want them to have clean shaven, unshaven, bearded? Do you want them, because that does some jobs, they require you not to have facial hair and stuff, certain types of jobs, right? Not to have long hair. And some jobs, they don't want tattoos on your arms and things like that. Certain like retail stores, for example. I know things have changed over the years quite a lot now, but there's certain things that, the person's specification, like, you can't be unapproachable if you're working with the public. Do you know what I mean? Because you'll just turn customers away. So the person's specification is kind of about their looks, the qualities of the person, their personality traits, that type of thing. Then the job description is what they need to do. So when you're translating that to dating, it'd be the personality, what they look like, basically, their mannerisms, how they speak to other people, how they interact with people, with you. And the job description is what you'd like them to do for you in the relationship and with you. So, for example, with me, the guys and the deal breakers, like I said, all the deal breakers. For me, the guys got to not want sex, not want marriage, not want kids, or with marriage, not care whether he has it or not want kids, be happy to live separately, be really kind, very compassionate, very caring, very, very honest, super honest to nearly a fault. I'd rather have him being super honest, saying things that even maybe I'm not keen on, than him lying. Every little detail counts with me. So being super, super honest about anything and everything. And I'd like him to be very, very besotted with me in a healthy way, not a controlling way. So like really doting on me, thinking I'm cute, and really, really like, that's my girl, I'm not interested in other women, if other women approach him, it's like, nah, I've got my girl, thanks very much. Do you know what I mean? That type of thing. And someone who can do cooking, cleaning, housework, really happy to do it themselves, probably enjoys cooking, probably enjoys housework and cleaning, like, yeah, I love it. So that's cool. You don't want to do that for me. I really enjoy that type of thing. And someone who have some feminine traits a bit. So like a guy who's got some feminine traits, but still got enough kind of masculine traits to be very directive of his own life, know what he wants, speaks his own mind, that type of thing. So a good balance there. Someone who can actually be in the country, UK, or ideally lives in the country, someone who's happy to be with an older girl, happy to show an older girl to his parents, happy to say that he's with an asexual girl as well to the world, happy to support me on my channel, happy to support me on my career, and someone who's got short dark hair, clean shaven. I prefer thin guys and Indian guys the most. And someone who I have really deep emotional connection with, very spiritual connection, someone who likes talking about the world, planet, and universe, someone who no topics off the table, we can talk about anything and everything, someone who likes going for walks, someone who loves kissing. Like, I like kissing, like, it's like, I want to go to a theme park, let's kiss while waiting for the theme park ride, go around zoos kissing and cuddling, go around aquariums kissing and cuddling. Like, I like to do things and go on dates, but I also like to be kissing and cuddling around the whole time. So it's like, supermarket, hold hands. Theme park rides, wait for them, kiss. It's like romance every single day of my life, so I want someone who's very cute, curly, romantic all the time, just naturally, like just so romantic like me. That would be just so bliss and really, really nice. And do you know what I mean? Cuddling type of person, someone who's very passionate and sensual without being sexual, someone who's just really fun to be with, and someone who doesn't put me down, someone who really lifts me up, be as a wind beneath my wings, like my best friends are. And, and someone who I can feel loves me a lot. Like I always feel loved by them 24/7, whether I'm with them in person or not, And I think someone who's very smart, someone who looks after their appearance, who cares about themselves, be well groomed, who doesn't neglect themselves, who, has nice quality foods for themselves, who wants to empower themselves, someone who's into personal and professional development, always improving themselves, someone who's not into watching the TV. I don't like sports, so ideally they wouldn't like sport, although that's not a deal breaker for me. But if they were obsessed with sport, it wouldn't be good. That probably would be a deal breaker. But if they like a bit of sport, and that's the type of person that I want, someone who's very intelligent and loves education and always wanting to improve themselves, someone who's got very strict boundaries with their friends as well. Like I can't be with an asexual who cuddles their asexual friends or other friends. For me, cuddling specifically reserved for someone in a relationship. I don't mind a guy like just quickly hugging, for example, a woman allowing goodbye a friend. That's fine because I do that with my friends, but I don't want them sat there cuddling in front of the TV, someone who's just his friend. It's not my standards, you know what I mean? So I'd want the guy to be in this country. I want to categorically know he's interested in me and he's not sat there messaging like 10, 15, whatever other women, chatting them all up, I'd want him to be totally trustworthy, and I'd want him to put me first a lot of the time, not to the detriment of his own self. He should always put himself first, but like make me a priority in his life, whilst still having his own life and career and hobbies and interests and friends. It's very important that you kind of balance that out. So that's some of the stuff that I want in a relationship, and if he can drive, it'd be good because I don't drive to see me. So if he doesn't live near me, but ideally he would move to live near me, So this is the type of stuff I want, So for example, these two Indian guys that I said eliminated themselves, they're not even in this country, but they're not up to the job of being my guy. They're not besotted with me. They're not really in love with me. They wouldn't do whatever it takes to come over to the UK, so they're not my guy. My guy, the right guy for me, will not hesitate. He'll be like, yep, Sandra's for me. That's it. I haven't met another person like her. I'm not going to meet another one. That's it. I'm just Sandra's. I'm not interested in other women. That's how my guy would act. He would just be, and he would have this strength about him. He'd be very kind and considerate and caring, but he would have this strength to him that other women, they wouldn't be able to get close to him because he'd be like, I've got my girl. I'm with Sandra. Do you know what I mean? Like, and categorically, even if it's got female friends, he just wouldn't let them overstep the boundaries. So I know I could 100% trust him like that. So I believe this guy's out there. 100% I do. I've just got to find him. Like I said, you need to get comfortable and happy with the elimination process. And this is for friends as well. You'll find some people that come into your life, they just don't meet your friendship criteria. They're not loyal. They're not loving. They just want you around when they want you around. They don't respond to your messages. They're late to meet you. They only seem to want to talk to you when it's on their terms. When you're feeling sad, lonely, and left out, they're not there for you. And they don't keep in touch with you. Only infrequently. These are the type of people that are not good friends. You want a friend who will respect you, who'll put as much time, energy, and effort into seeing you as you do them. Which is why I'm so happy my friends coming to see me today as well. They're a bit nervous because I haven't been on public transport much since this thing happened. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them. So get comfortable with the elimination process. Instead of thinking, I'm not worthy, blah, 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 and all this negative stuff, stop that negative self-talk and think, I am worthy of a loving, kind, caring, committed, healthy relationship. This is my job specification and person specification. This is criteria of what I want. And when someone doesn't match up to that, you cross them out, you eliminate them and say, thank you very much for disqualifying yourself. You're not up to the job. You're not strong enough for me. Off you go. Right. And this makes you in a position of power, in a position of strength, in a position of feeling abundant. Like there's lots of other opportunities out there, instead of feeling belittled and small and insecure and like you're clambering around for something that you just can't have at the moment. This brings your power back. This centers you. This focuses you on what you want and on getting the right guy for you, because you just don't want to get the wrong person for you in a relationship. Because if you get the wrong person where they don't match a lot of your criteria, you're going to feel insecure in the relationship. You're going to start doubting things. You're going to start feeling really uneasy. You're not going to be able to trust that person, even if they are trustworthy in lots of ways. They're not going to be trustworthy for you because they're not going to be right for you. They're not going to gel with you, you know? So you need to let them go. And this process as well allows for the art of detachment. If you start seeing it more logically instead of more emotionally, you can look at it more with a detachment mindset and like, you know, that person's no good. They've disqualified themselves. Off they go. You might find randomly that one of these people does come back in your life years later and is a different person, and maybe they are qualified then, right? But that doesn't matter. You know, it's no good saying, oh, well, this person got half of what I want. It's not good. You don't want a half-cocked guy or person. Do you know what I mean? You don't want a half job, right? It's no person comes into a job and they might have like 5 of the criteria, but if you've got candidates they've got more, or if you need, you know, you've got certain criteria that are just essential. They're like health and safety measures, right? And this person doesn't live up to health and safety measures, they're out. It doesn't matter because this is your danger zone, right? It's like, I don't want kids categorically. There's absolutely no point in me getting with someone who wants kids. Absolute danger zone. The relationship's not going to last. They're going to go off to someone else, right? Categorically, no. So that's what you need to think. If if you're having a job description, there's things that are health and safety, or things that are, like some things are compulsory, and other things are like would desire, strongly desire. So you've got like compulsory, strongly desire, and like. You know, they fall into kind of 3 categories. Compulsory is things you can't be without in that job. So, you know, things that you have to have, the deal breakers, sex, marriage, and kids. Living together or not living together, living in the same country, all that type of thing. You know, future goals, ambitions, and dreams. It's no good if they want to be in Australia and you want to be in France, for example. And so they're the deal breakers. They're like the compulsory, mandatory things, right? And then you've got the desirables, strongly desires, what you really, really want them to be like to get the best out the role, out the job role. And then you've got ones that are, you know, you could like accept someone who's not got so many of, you know, certain traits, but it would be preferable, and there's some things that don't really matter that much, you know. So that's what you have to be looking at. I can get used to being uncomfortable but comfortable about it. So get used to the elimination process. It might be uncomfortable at first, but it'll stand you in good stead. And once you start getting comfortable with the elimination process, you'll realize that your dating relationships becomes better for you because you become more in a position of power and strength, and you become more centered and focused into what you want and getting the best relationship for you, which in turn will be the best for that person because they're not suitable for your job description, person specification. They're not going to be right for you. There's no point in holding them back when they can find a better job for them, right? Just like you can find someone better for your job, right? So you've got to understand this. It doesn't mean to say they're a bad person or you're a bad person. It means to say you're not compatible for the job you need to do together. You can't work together as a team in that job because it's just not suitable. One of you or more of you is just not suitable for that job, right? So this is how you have to look at it. I hope this video has been super helpful, useful, insightful. I know when I discovered all this stuff myself, I thought, wow, this is just incredible because it's very empowering. No longer do I feel disempowered, and no longer do I feel like, oh my God, I'm just so upset because, you know, like no one wants to be in a relationship with me. I feel empowered. I feel like from a position of strength. I feel like, you know, like it's like, do they match up to my criteria or not? No, they're not a strong enough guy for me. They're out, you know. And a lot of people society measure strength in a guy, for example, because I'm just into guys, through the amount of like muscles they've got or male traits. That's not strength. Strength is being able to give you everything you need in a relationship in a natural way that is like good for them and good for you, and it's having the strength and determination as well to see through to the person you actually want to be with, and having the strength of character to walk away. Like the guy that I got on really well with, he submitted. You know, I can't get a visa, Sandra. Like, it doesn't matter if I want a relationship with you. I'd like one, but it's impossible basically because I can't get a visa. So that's the way it is. So we both have to move on. Do you see what I mean? So he was being, you know, he's only really young, early 20s. So it's really good that he had the courage and honesty to tell me that. So we can just move on with our lives, you know? So it's very, very important. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for the thumbs up already. I know there's someone who said you should be crystal clear. Well said, and I'm glad you agree with that. I don't know what your name is because it's written in a foreign language that unfortunately I can't read. But whatever your name is, I really appreciate you being in chat here. Lots of love to you. And it is very, very important to be crystal clear. But if you don't get crystal clear on what exactly you want, no one else will know what you want. And that's really bad for dating and relationships and friendship. You have no boundaries. You're all over the place. You don't know what you want, so you'll get crap come into your life. If you want to keep getting crap, then keep being wishy-washy about what you want, but be very, very specific about what you want. Then you'll get much better quality friends at least. You know, I've got much better quality friends now because I have higher standards for my friendships. And when people aren't treating me well as a friend, I usually walk away. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do that before, but I respect myself enough to walk away. I'd rather spend time on my own than be with people who are no good. Luna, thank you so much for being here. And I'm glad that you'd rather be single than settle as well. You know? Rather be single than settle. And that's what I would. I'm going to stay single forever unless I get the right person for me, because I don't want to settle. There is no point. I would be miserable. And I wouldn't feel like I'm living a fulfilling life. And Liam, oh, it was lovely to see you, Liam. Lots of love to you. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to go and get some sleep now because I'm meeting my friend in a few hours' time. And I haven't seen the month, so I'm really looking forward to that. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to this channel. I don't know what your name is in the foreign language, but I hope you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. And thanks, Lena, for being here. I really appreciate you. Thanks, Liam. And thanks to everyone else. See you on the next show. Take care, embrace your quirky and each other's. See you on the next live stream or video. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.